See some of the historical figures over there. Lou Montgomery, Rita Roach, Laverne Mosley, Casper Ferguson, Chuck Smith, Cynthia Cooper-Dyke, Maya Moore. We'll have more on that as we are set for the opening tip. Boston College in their home grays and Georgia Tech in the gold. The Yellow Jackets with Fletcher. Loves to play downhill, according to Coach Fortner. Tall guard, Lottinen. Here's McQueen. McQueen, the South Carolina Gatorade Player of the Year, wearing 00. She's had some big games, used a lot as a decoy. Lottinen will stop and pop, in and out.
Yeah, very good defense by Boston College right there, creating havoc. Very well defended. Loaded by Lottinen, shot just could not fall.
Boston College has been stopped by COVID, perhaps more than any team in the country. As you mentioned, just 3 games in 30 days. And when they do come back, they got to face Louisville and then Georgia Tech. That's just not easy.
Yeah, Georgia Tech, I mean, number 2 in the league in scoring defense. Very hard to score on them. They were number 1 in the league last season as Loyal McQueen puts up a 3.
McQueen, the rebound there from Hermosa. Hermosa shooting at almost 60% from the field. Doesn't take a bad shot. Ripped out of there, but they'll say foul on Fletcher. So foul going against Georgia Tech.
And that's something that Fletcher is going to do all game. She's a hustle player. She's tough. She's strong. She's looking for those loose balls. You know, tough play for her right there, but I expect to see those kind of hustle plays from Fletcher all game.
The biggest loss for Boston College, coming off a great season that saw their coach Joanna Burnaby-McNamee earn the ACC Coach of the Year, is they lost Guy, who graduated, and she was at 13-3 and almost 5 rebounds a game. And so they don't have a ton of post play. Having to carry the load is Ford. And then, of course, Soule's got to play bigger than her 5'11" frame, which she does. Looks like an extra step, but Hermosa is in. That's why she's shooting almost 60%. They're all layups and 4-footers.
Yeah, they're all, you know, bodying people in the paint. And Claire Ford got bodied on that one. Just not big enough or quick enough to handle Hermosa's size and speed.
Extra pass down low, out of bounds. It's so great to have Nell Fortner back in the game. Of course, success everywhere she went. Auburn, success with the USA. Big-time broadcaster, by the way, but thankfully the coaching bug brought her back. And look at her record at Georgia Tech. The Yellow Jackets will be in the NCAA tournament this year, and they could be dangerous.
Yeah, Coach Fortner not expecting the success this early on for the team, not because of talent, but because before she saw this team and got to coach them, she didn't know what to expect. And last year when they had the success that they had and they responded to her coaching the way that they did, they had a lot of success. So she knew this season this was possible.
2 rare misses close there for Georgia Tech. Boston College actually got out to an 8-0 and 13-2 lead against Miami. They led at halftime and led through most of the third quarter, but by the time the fourth quarter rolled around, Boston College just didn't have the legs. Rebound for Kubai, who is just a rebounding machine. Second officially in rebounding in the ACC. Lottinen.
Boston College's ball pressure right now is really tough.
You see Joanna Burnaby-McNamee, your reigning ACC Coach of the Year, 39 and 38. Of course, that's mostly because of this year, a year like none other. She's got 2 young boys, Luke and Caden. She was actually watching them play this weekend, which was good for her to kind of get away from it all. I mean, every time they think they're going again, COVID shuts them down, and you just can't get any rhythm going.
Yeah, and then that also contributes to the fatigue of this Boston College team. That fourth quarter slip that they had the other day against Miami was one reason why they weren't in playing shape. And Coach Burnaby-McNamee stressed that on our call yesterday, how, you know, that's been a staple of Boston College, being in shape, being in playing shape. And this year they haven't been able to do that with 3 games in 30 days and all the stoppages due to COVID and players missing.
Kubai misses. Defended there by Taylor Soule. Again, Taylor Soule's 5'11". Kubai is 6'4". Kubai with another rebound. But Taylor Soule, to her credit, plays like she's 6'4".
I mean, she plays way bigger than her size. And one thing she does as she takes the charge.
Yeah.
Good hustle play, good hustle play. She's a hustle player. She does everything for this Boston College team. As we take another look at it, she sees Lorella Kubai, knows the scouting report, gets 2 feet in front of her and takes the charge, sacrifices her body. She is the soul of this Boston College team, does a bit of everything.
She's a fantastic basketball player. She's only a junior, and I can tell you right now, in my opinion, she already looks like a next-level player. I gotta believe her only issue is that she's 5'11", but I gotta believe scouts are drooling because she can defend post players.
Yeah, and at the next level, she'll probably have to develop a longer range shot from beyond the arc. Right now, she's got that 10 to 15-foot range. She handles the ball, might have to increase her ball handling ability, but she's definitely a next-level player.
Finally, a bucket for Boston College as Ivy gets there, the freshman from Forestville, Maryland, Riverdale Baptist School.
And working really hard in the gym is what Coach Barnaby McNamee told us. Ivy coming off of that COVID protocol early on. Been back in the gym ever since, working it up, and we saw the product of her effort on that last layup.
Hermosa doesn't handle it. Good idea from Loyal McQueen. Loyal McQueen has had some big games this year. 17 points, 7 assists in the last game versus Clemson. She can light it up. Over 2,000 points at Wilson High School for McQueen. It's 2-2 here. Not a whole lot of scoring as Georgia Tech is 1 for 7. Boston College 1 for 5. Both teams starting cold.
And I think that's a testament to the defensive abilities of both teams. Both teams have made it an aim to ramp up the defensive pressure as Boston College gets a 3-second call. But that was one of the keys to the game for both Georgia Tech and for Boston College. Ramp up the intensity on defense, try to rattle the other team and get them out of their game.
Good look a moment ago at Nell Fortner. Calling the play. Queen. Extra pass. Kubai. There's that defense again from Soul, number 13. Her job is to mark Kubai. McQueen. Short. 1 for 8.
Boston College doing a really good job of affecting Georgia Tech shots, swarming them in the paint, pun intended.
Offensive rebound coming from Van Timmeren. Good to see her back. She has been out because of the various protocols and injuries, and that was an important addition for Joanna Burnaby McNamee, who told us that you could expect to see number 12, and she's out there for the Eagles. Lotman, we're still sitting at 2s as we're in a timeout break. Hermosa, a rare miss for number 20.
Boston College doing a very good job boxing out Georgia Tech and not allowing second chance points.
Short for Van Timmeren, the freshman from Michigan, Jenison High School. It's 2-2, and Georgia Tech 1 for 9 from the floor. Boston College 1 for 8. Kubai, little hook shot, can't hit it. Now 1 for 10.
And that's one of the keys to the game for Boston College, as Taylor Soule does what she does best. Hustles down the floor, runs the floor well for those easy baskets. This is exactly what Boston College's game plan was, to try to shake things up, make it an up and down game, get those easy layups off of those rebounds at the other end of the floor.
Textbook bounce pass from Ivy to Soule. Soule running the court. Soule going old school, by the way, with the hairstyle today. I like it for number 13. Little leaner there from Fletcher. Rebound. The rebound machine that is Hermosa and Kubai. Buckets hard to come by. It's 4-2. Boston College with just a 2-point lead.
Not having that large inside presence that they're used to. The stop and go has limited them when it comes to being able to be in playing shape. They're fatigued, and we see some of that in the fourth quarter let-ups that they've had. But it's also been just the lack of size in the paint. Claire Ford having to pick up where Emma Guy left off, and although Claire Ford's rebounding has gotten better, they need a bigger presence on scoring on the inside with her. And, you know, but Coach McNamee also told us that her team, her guards, perform better when they're able to kick into the post and get a pass back out to create their offense. And they haven't been able to do that this season.
Hermosa makes both free throws. She's shooting 61% from the line and almost 60% from the field. Good defense from Fletcher. She can do it all. as she is chasing down a big score line for her career at Georgia Tech. And Fletcher's already got one foul. I think they got her again. That's 2 on Fletcher.
Wow. Well, right now I'm sure that if Fletcher stays in the game, she might not. I see Kubai coming in to get her, for those 2 fouls. I was going to say she might need to play careful for the rest of the first quarter to not get another foul. But that's a smart play by Nell Fortner to pull her.
Neither one of these teams super deep. They only play about 8 players, each of them. Driving to the basket. I love the switch of the hands by Swartz, the junior from Georgia, the transfer from Colorado, finishing at the bucket.
A nice little move by Swartz. The hang time in the air to switch the hands. Next level move.
Kubai and Hermosa. That combo is to die for. Post to post.
They are clicking so well on all cylinders. I mean, that is the most hated pass by any other team in the ACC. That high-low from Kubai to Hermosa. I mean, Kubai just so good passing out of pressure, and we saw that on display that last play.
Finally, both teams starting to put baskets together, and as I say that, it'll roll out for Van Timmeren. Pushing it the other way is McQueen, Loyal McQueen. Freshman sensation. There it is again. Oh, and Hermosa with a rare miss. Kubai with a textbook pass. Boston College quickly into their offense. They are attacking the hoop. Good drive. The freshman Palmieri misses it.
And here we see Swartz switch hands in the air, hang time. Nice little move to the basket for her. And on the other end, that high-low pass from Hermosa, or to Hermosa from Kubai, the most hated pass by any other ACC team. They don't want to see it in their games, and that's why.
Ford can't handle the inbounds pass, but cleaned up by Swartz. There is a learning moment, I think, for Hermosa off that pass. She did not need to bring the ball down, right? She just got to get it and turn.
And that's what probably affected her second shot that she missed. She waited for the defense to come and anticipated it.
Boston College hitting the offensive boards. And because of that, they get a second shot at it and finish a deep 3 from Gerard.
Boston College loves to shoot that 3-point shot from beyond the arc. They shoot a lot of them, and they hit quite a few as well. So one of the things that Georgia Tech has got to do, not leave them open beyond the arc.
That was because another offensive rebound, back cut for Lottinen.
Nice. And that's what Lottinen does. If she can't get her scoring going at the top of the key, you're going to see a lot of backdoor cuts by her. She's a tough guard, very strong, and can finish underneath.
Gerard, good idea, trying to find Ford defensively there, though, for Georgia Tech, sliding in just in time. It's number 24, Love.
And Lily Love, that's what she brings to this Tech team. A freshman, still learning, still getting better every game, has seen increased minutes for this Tech team, become reliable and dependable, and we saw an example of that right there, hustling to get on the floor to get the loose balls, and it, you know, she got rewarded by Georgia Tech. Now has the ball coming up the floor.
Kubai's got 5 rebounds and an assist, but is 0 for 3, as Sol's done a great job keeping an eye on number 13, Kubai. Lottinen under pressure.
Yep. And there's the effect of that press, that Boston College press. Part of the game plan. Excuse me, double team, not press, but those traps. Boston College right here. Lodomai Lottinen gets deep to the baseline, doesn't know where to go. And for Georgia Tech, they've got to make themselves available when their teammates get trapped in the corner. Because when you're trapped like that, you can't see outside of it. So they've got to get to the open spot and make themselves available, because they're going to see that all game.
Final seconds here of the first quarter. You see the turnovers the same. Georgia Tech shooting 3 for 14. Boston College 4 for 14. Blocked there by Kubai. A few seconds left to heave it. Stepping into it, but short. And after some, dare I say, woeful shooting, it's a 1-point lead after 1. Boston College 9, Georgia Tech 8. As we bring you ACC Women's to re-enter, and Nell Fortner loved her. And she scored 2,000 points at Wilson High School, where her dad was a big-time coach. It is now the AD at Wilson High School, and her dad actually played for Wake Forest, ironically, as we did that Georgia Tech Wake Forest game a couple weeks ago.
So many connections. Small world. Lorella Kubai picks up a foul. Her second.
Foul was called on Boyd. 12 seconds left on the shot clock. Second quarter underway.
Lorella would not appreciate me giving her that extra foul.
Driving to the bucket. I think Kubai got a piece of that. Not sure she'll get credit for the block or not. Here is McQueen out of that Honda startup. McQueen looking for Kubai. McQueen, little leaner. Up off the basket, she may have another chance at it.
And that was Aaliyah Love who swatted that ball back out of the paint on the rebound.
Kubai, extra pass. McQueen, good three-point shooter and in.
And there it is, Loyal McQueen. That three-point shot has really improved. Her confidence has improved every time she stepped on the floor. And you can see it right there, the three-point shot, knocking it down. It's gotten Georgia Tech out of a lot of sticky situations lately in the ACC.
Trying to find Soul. It was McQueen defending. McQueen in high school scored 51 points, and she had 11 three-pointers that looked like this one right here.
Yeah, Loyal McQueen. I mean, the shot is not the prettiest, but it's pretty enough, and Georgia Tech will take it.
Loyal McQueen. Derek McQueen actually mentioned that South Carolina, of course, wanted her, but they were late to the party, so Nell Fortner got a good one in McQueen.
And we see Boston College, I mean, they are swarming in the paint. They are swarming Georgia Tech, doubling and tripling every time they get a rebound or get the ball inside of the paint. And that was part of the game plan that they are following right now to their success. I mean, they're only down by 2 to a really good Georgia Tech team.
Kubai gets her first bucket.
And that's what Kubai does. I mean, if her offense is not going, she ramps up her defense to create her offense.
Ivy. That's a good finish again at the bucket. Clearly part of the game plan for Joanna Burnaby-McNamee.
Go back door, Cameron Swartz right there. We can see her doing a few good things for this Boston College team. I mean, she's also got, how many rebounds? Swartz? She's got 1 rebound and 4 points.
And Timmerin doing the work defensively. That's part of the reason Coach Burnaby-McNamee was so excited about this game, to finally have an extra player, particularly a post player, driving to the bucket again is Swartz. She leads all players with 6.
Yeah, Swartz is just dismantling this really good Georgia Tech defense, from at the top of the key. Creating her own shot.
Swartz had 27 against Tulane, where she had 9 rebounds, 8 assists, and 4 steals. Those are her career highs, and off to a good start, tied at 13. She's a perfect 3 for 3, and another charge called. This one is called on Love. Swartz has been part of the offense for the Eagles.
Yeah, last 2 buckets scored for Boston College have been by Cameron Swartz here on the back door. Really good pass by Ivy, and here we see Swartz again. She sees the screener starting to come up in head, so she decides to go the other way, split the paint, gets the easy layup for 2. At the other end of the floor, takes a charge for Boston College, deserves to break. Noticeably tired, doing it all for Boston College right now.
Yeah, Swartz 3 for 3. The rest of her teammates, though, just 3 for 16. So I don't think the break will last long for Swartz, as Boston College has it again. And that's a nice bucket. That's not an easy shot made there by Batts.
Yeah, Coach Burnaby-McNamee told us that Batts is the X factor for this team, a sneaky athlete that likes to get in there, get those rebounds, can also get scores for Boston College, and we saw it on display right there.
Saw Soul pick up Kubai, and then she also has the ability to pick up McQueen. We talked about that for Kubai. It's the same thing for Soul, her ability to defend anybody. Picked up by Boston College, and the transition game is on. Ivy has been dropping dimes. Bringing it up is Soul. Soul straight to the bucket. Little fake, up and in. So strong.
Beautiful move. She realized she had the smaller Loyal McQueen on her, had a little hesitation move. Said, hey, you're smaller than me. Nobody's in the paint. I'm taking it all the way in. Takes it in for the easy 2.
Georgia Tech had the lead, 13-11. Boston College now 17-13. Hermosa. Great defense again by Van Timmeren, as McQueen will miss the lefty three.
Van Timmeren, first game back off of COVID protocol as well, making a really big impact here for Boston College. She's got 4 rebounds in this game so far.
Yeah, both sides of the court for Van Timmeren. Well said, Tabitha Turner. Bats, that X factor. 3 seconds, I believe.
Our producer is saying mouse in the house for the smaller people on the inside. Making me laugh over here. But Taylor Soule notices she has a smaller McQueen on her, does a little hezzy, gets McQueen past her. Nobody else there to recover. Easy two, which is part of what Coach Burnaby McNamee wanted. She wants those easy offensive buckets under the basket so they don't have to deal with Georgia Tech's size.
Let me just say, if Taylor Soule's a mouse in the house, then I'm a particle of a particle. I mean, that's how big she plays as she goes to the bucket, and Soule up and in for the and one.
Wow, this kid. I mean, Taylor Soule is the soul of this Boston College team, doing it, Boston College doing it all right now.
Yeah, the points off of turnovers, it's a 6-point lead. Boston College has 6 points off of turnovers. Georgia Tech 0. As Soule goes to the line. So Soule now leads all players with 7. Soule now marking the center, Hermosa.
Boston College doing a really good job bodying up and playing Georgia Tech in their faces.
What a pass. Are you kidding me? One dribble and then the pass for Kubai.
And Kubai is just a crazy passer, gets the pass out of all the trouble, all the defenses, all the double teams. She's very good at doing that, and we saw it on display there as she got to Hermosa, her mentee, underneath the basket.
Good help defense coming from Georgia Tech by Love. The drive in and go out of bounds from Ivy. Kubai really can do it all. She also plays for the Italy Youth National Team system.
And here we see she's defended, doesn't have the shot, gets Taylor Soule to come to her, leaving her Hermosa underneath the basket wide open. Bats couldn't recover. Easy two for Georgia Tech.
Rebound for Georgia Tech. Love, she does, comes off the bench and hits the boards. Down to Hermosa. Lotnin. Short on the 3. Now Dickens will rebound and push it. Boston College. Dickens going to take a 3. Short. Good hustle by Ford to tip it, but it'll go out of bounds back to Georgia Tech.
And that's a shot that Dickens can hit. She is really good at creating her shot off the dribble, shooting that 3 off the dribble. That's one thing that Georgia Tech does not want her to get hot from behind the line at that point, because that's what she's good at, leaving her open and letting her create her shot off that 3.
Saw Joanna Burnaby McNamee, the head coach for Boston College. She's really gracious with her time, working us in around her kids playing basketball. And you can kind of tell that she really felt like a win would change the dynamic of this season. But I actually felt for her because of everything they've had to go through. As you see her there with the Black History is Our History. It was an interesting conversation listening to her break down this season, particularly coming off such a marvelous season a year ago.
Yeah, and it's nobody's fault is what she was trying to relate to us. It's not the players' fault. It's not the staff's fault. It's just what is going on with every team right now. And unfortunately, Boston College has kind of gotten the brunt of it all with all the stoppages, the shortages, the player recalls for COVID recalls. And her team just has not been able to get in the playing shape that they wanted to be in or needed to be in or used to be in. So really tough break for Boston College, but they are showing out today here against Georgia Tech in the second quarter.
3:20 remaining here in the first half. Stepping back again is Ivy. That's twice she's tried to do that. Soule knew that it was touched by Kubai. She'll use her body to shield it, and it'll stay with Boston College.
And notice how Soule was the furthest away from the ball on that loose ball, but she was the first to touch it or to get to it before it went out of bounds. I mean, such an incredible hustle player, doing everything for this team. trying to will her team to a win here against Georgia Tech.
Taylor Soul's the kind of player you could watch play one-on-one and get full enjoyment out of it. She is that complete of a basketball player. Soul has it now. By keeping an eye on her. Swartz having a good game. Little heat check there and in.
I mean, this kid, I'm a fan. In the second quarter, I haven't seen her play much, but she is lighting it up today here, feeling it against Georgia Tech.
4 for 4 from the floor for Swartz on a team that's shooting 37%, 10 for 27 overall. Here's the Queen. She has made 1 3. Queen resetting, asking for a high pick from Hermosa, driving to the basket. She'll go to the line.
And that's what Georgia Tech has to do, get to the basket. As we take another look at Taylor Soul, giving that screen for Swartz. Kubai a little bit too late getting there. Might have been fouled by Kubai right there, but Swartz knocking it down. Doing it all for Boston College here today. Her and Soul have just kind of connected to will their team through this. I want to see how this energy keeps up in the second half through the fourth.
Queen shooting 64%. She misses the first one from the free throw line. That'll make her father a little crazy. Longtime successful coach of the boys program at Wilson High School. Now the AD. She misses them both.
I can imagine him at home watching TV like, come on, knock down your free throws.
She scored over 2,000 points in a great high school career. You see her doing the defensive work now. Soul. High pick for Swartz. Shot clock at 0, and Soul shot short. Pushing it.
Wow.
The Queen will lose it.
Boston College pressure really just has Georgia Tech kind of all out of sorts in their defensive game.
6-point lead. Off the back of the rim that time for Boston College. Timmerin, and these offensive rebounds, second effort plays have been huge for the home team, Boston College.
I mean, Taylor Soul is going to be tired after this game tonight. I'm tired watching her hustle to every loose ball and get it.
Look at this. Here's another one coming for Van Timmerin. That was a bad shot by the freshman Palmieri, but her fellow freshman bailed her out. Timmerin posting up, and I think they're going to call her now. Good work by the mouse in the house, McQueen down there doing the work defensively.
That was the mouse in the house that we were referring to, but yeah, Van Timmerin a little too aggressive on the smaller player. This is her first game back off of COVID protocol, but you know, Loyal McQueen fighting down there. You know, Van Timmerin's too much, and Van Timmerin picked up the offensive foul, a little frustrated by it, but you know, it's probably just her having to get used to getting back to playing, getting in game playing shape here on the Boston College floor.
Saw the intensity on Soul's face. She switches between Hermosa and Kubai. Okay, let's see what Kubai can do against Soul. Watch Soul pushes her out of there, but Hermosa is money. Hermosa 4 for 6 from the floor. Meanwhile, the team is 7 for 24. So Hermosa shooting at almost a clip of 60% on the season. That shot right there is not an easy shot. She made it look easy.
Yeah, and Coach Fortner was talking to us about how Hermosa is hitting from several places on the floor right now. And that angle shot, that corner free throw shot has been one of them. Kubai got double teamed and saw Hermosa.
Oh! Swartz gets bumped. The bump by Love, continuation. And this is one of those days where you just want the rock as Swartz will go to the line.
The ball will go through her on every play. Right here, Swartz doesn't wait for the screen by Lily Love. Bumps her just a bit on that baseline shot and one. Took the contact, 1 foot in the air. Almost nothing but net, but hey, we'll take it.
That was good defense by Love. In fact, it might have even been a foul on Swartz, but when it is raining, it's pouring. Swartz is feeling it.
Well, and that's the thing, though. You have to realize how the refs are calling the game. And Coach Burnaby McNamee also gave us really good insight on that. Recognize how the refs are calling the game. Is it ticky-tack fouls? Is it something small? Are they not calling anything at all and letting you play? And I think right there, Swartz did a really good job of taking that contact even though she recognized that she might have been fouled as Lawton hits the sideways jumper. Not an easy shot to end the second quarter going into the half.
That was big. When in doubt, go to Lawton to get a bucket, as it's been mostly Boston College here in the second quarter.
Those three, as we look at Boston College, and Cameron Swartz, I mean, surprisingly to all of us, but not to her, doing a lot for this team with 11 points. Taylor Soule following with 7. Marnell Gerard with a 3-pointer, who can also light it up from behind the arc.
So here we go, the start of the third quarter. Alongside Tabitha Turner, I'm Dean Linke. Delighted to be with you for Sunday afternoon ACC women's basketball. Georgia Tech looking to be a lock for that 3 seed in the ACC tournament. Boston College could be a tough out down there at the bottom. Ford hustles. By the way, offensive rebounds, it was 8-4 advantage. As Swartz continues to feel it. Open, she's got 13. Can she chase down her career high of 27 against Tulane?
And that score happened for Swartz because at the other end of the floor, Boston College got 2 tip deflections, keeping the ball alive, resulting in the offensive rebound, and leaked out to Swartz for the layup at the other end. And Kiera Fletcher answers with a 3-point shot from beyond the arc.
Yeah, they needed that. Remember, Fletcher got those 2 early fouls, so that limited her playing time to just 8 minutes in the first half. She'll normally play almost 35 minutes a game.
And Fletcher's got to be careful because, again, that was a part of the game plan to not let her be effective coming into this game, and it's worked in the first half so far for Boston College.
Kubai gets another block, as Kubai's got 3 blocks in this one for the Yellow Jackets. The Yellow Jackets can cut the lead to 2. Kubai flashed, wanted it. Soule who picked her up.
Yeah.
And the foul there by Ford.
And Claire Ford has, you know, if she's going to go out there and trap and hedge, she's got to make sure she moves her feet as a post player, because those guards are reading it. They're very fast, and they will take the foul if you foul them. And that's exactly what happened. Her foot and her knee got caught, and Lodomai Lawton got tripped up on it, resulting in Ford going to the bench.
Yeah, another big loss for Boston College out right now is Akuna Conquo, 6'2" redshirt freshman from Alexandria, Virginia. So that's part of the reason why Soule has to play like she's 6'5", as she tries to keep an eye on Kubai. Goes down to Hermosa, rare miss for Hermosa. The rebound there from Swartz, doing it all for the Eagles.
And when I would have liked for Hermosa to just turn around and not put the ball on the floor and just shoot the little right-hand hook over the smaller defensive players.
Swartz finally misses one. If that one went in, they were all going to go in. Quick the other way, though. Hermosa runs the court and is rewarded, and they cut the lead to 2. So a Swartz miss and a fast break for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, Georgia Tech, you know, they're also good at leaking out that fast break. And Hermosa, one of the best posts, running the floor, rewarding Georgia Tech on the offensive end.
Offensive foul called against, I believe, number 12, Allie Van Timmeren. Yep. Good job by our crew.
And here we see Kiera Fletcher leaking out to Hermosa. Hermosa running the floor very well, being rewarded at the other end with the easy 2.
Fletcher. Kubai looking to get going, just sitting on 2 points, as she has 10 double-doubles on the season, averaging a double-double. Lottonen creates her own space, little runner, leaner, good shot.
Very good read by Lottonen right there. Her teammate came over to give her the screen going left. She said, no, I'm not taking the screen. Baseline's open. 1 dribble, jump shot over the defender before they could even get there.
And we are tied. Soule misses, and a whistle will go against, I believe, number 12, Allie Van Timmeren. Ford's got 2 fouls. Van Timmeren, if that's on her, that's her 3rd. So Ford's going to come right back in for Coach Joanna Burnamy-McNamee. See her right there. And it's Black History Month. This game dedicated to Black History Month. Part of that was all of the Eagles players picked an inspirational figure in Black history, and there are cutouts of them here at the Conti Forum. Queen. Battle there between Soule and Kubai.
And it almost seems like Georgia Tech has come out with a little bit more aggressiveness and intensity. And yes, Taylor Soule right there trying to fight to get position around Lorella Kubai, kind of hugs her a little bit, causing the foul.
Step back, short for Fletcher, rebound for Ford, and Ford with a quick outlet. That's what Boston College wants to do, is they get it back to Soule, and Soule an easy one. Soule now sitting on 9.
And Ivy, excellent pass by Ivy, pushes the ball up the floor, draws the defenders into her, leaves Soule open underneath the basket with the finish.
It's 4 assists for Ivy. Really important that you pointed that out. Ivy's passing has been solid. McQueen sets for 3 off the back of the iron. Rebound, Kubai up and in. So Kubai with 8 rebounds.
And that's how she fuels her offense. Her defense fuels her offense, and that's the kind of player you love to coach. They don't get down on themselves offensively, and in the past, Kubai did used to do that when she would miss a shot, but she's grown so much that now she allows her defense to fuel her offense.
That was her first offensive rebound of the game. McQueen's going to push it. McQueen all the way to the basket, and she'll draw the foul from Soule. Soule thought it was clean. And that's 2 quick fouls picked up by Soule.
And Loyal McQueen, she picks up the tempo for this team. And yes, Taylor Soule gets her with the hand at the top, but as she comes down, she gets her with the body. Her hand slowly kind of hit Loyal McQueen's arms, which is where the referee saw the foul at. And right here, Loyal McQueen needs to kind of focus in and knock down these free throws. This is where you want to get those easy points while the clock is stopped, especially in a tight game like this.
McQueen averaging 28 minutes a game, 9 points a game, a couple rebounds per game. And after missing her first 2, she's able to knock that one down. And for the first time in quite some time, Georgia Tech has the lead 30-29 as McQueen will make both. She's now 2 for 4.
Crucial, very crucial free throw points for Loyal McQueen.
Well, it did 2 things. She got the 2 points, but it also drew the second foul on Soule, who it's going to be hard for Boston College to play without Soule. She does everything.
Good point. Because they are definitely trying to keep her out of foul trouble.
Good pass, but in traffic, Palmieri, the freshman, can't make it. Former Connecticut High School Player of the Year, Palmieri. McQueen, Kubai.
No look.
Love the way she passes the ball to Hermosa. Hermosa needs to buy multiple steak dinners for Kubai. That's my opinion.
Well, you know, I didn't know this, but Coach Fortner told us yesterday that Kubai has been a bit of a mentor to Hermosa since she's come in as a freshman with the language barriers, with her speaking Spanish and Kubai speaking Italian. You know, those two are very close together as Kubai pulls down yet another defensive rebound.
Yeah, they can talk to each other in their international language, and they can also talk to each other in the language of basketball. Kubai, especially with great eyes, great vision, looking for 2 of her own, and she gets it. And Kubai now with 6 points and 8 rebounds, pushing closer to that double-double.
And Lorella Kubai didn't have the first half that she wanted, but we see her early on in this game making an impact. She's kind of gotten settled in out of her head and has seen how the defense is playing her.
So a travel there. Georgia Tech deserves respect, and so does Lorella Kubai. The no-look pass there. She wasn't on any preseason ACC team.
Or fought with the administration to get since last season. They've been wanting to do this game, and it's going to be somewhat of a tradition here at Boston College to have this game going every season. Representation matters, especially for a lot of these women on the floor. So a really good theme game for Black History Month to do here at Boston College.
So well said by the talented Tabitha Turner. Dean Linke alongside her. Delighted to be with you all here from the Conti Forum in Boston. We're expecting snow tomorrow. Today it's absolutely beautiful outside with an area of cloud in the sky. A little extra step that time. By the way, Georgia Tech on a 15-2 run before that possession in the last near 5 minutes. They made 5 of 7 field goals. Meanwhile, Boston College is on a scoring drought that now runs past 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It's 35-29, Georgia Tech by 6. There's the back cut. Swartz ran out of room from Hermosa, and Hermosa gets the rebound. Hermosa now with 6 rebounds to go with her 14 points.
And we see both teams kind of settling in here in the second half, slowing things down just a bit.
Lottinen, that leaner short this time. Swartz doesn't rebound it. Lottinen hustles, gets tied up there by Soule, and the possession arrow will go back to the home team, Boston College and Soule.
Great sportsmanship there, by the way, between Soule and Lottinen. Lottinen got in there and dove to the ground to get her own rebound that was in Soule's hand. Soule kind of snatched it away from her as Lottinen was on the floor, but helped her up after the play. Very good sportsmanship.
Boston College now shooting 31% from the floor, just 1 for 7 from three-point land as they get it back to Soule. And Soule up and in. She's got double digits, 11 points to go with her 4 rebounds.
And we were talking about how undersized Soule was, but Boston College has figured out a way to have Georgia Tech switch off on them, which had Lottinen be the smaller player. Lottinen slipped and fell just a little bit, allowing Swartz to get that easy two cutting across the screen.
Lottinen open for 3.
And that's that three-point shot we were talking about in the open. It's become more consistent. She's got more confidence in that shot and improved it since last season.
38-31. Back down to Soule. Extra pass. Just a little bit behind Batts. And then fouled it in. Swartz feeling it. 14, 15, and 16. And a chance for a 4-point play.
Swartz is just having one of those games where she's just blacked out. It's just give me the ball, put the ball in my hands, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to will my team to a win. Jalen Batts passed it out, didn't have the shot, got Swartz beyond the arc. Nerea Hermosa doesn't control her body and gets her in the midsection, causing the and-one.
It's one of those days you dream about, right? Where everything's falling.
Yeah, I had one of those in my career ever. A game I just blacked out. It was hitting everything.
Yeah, she is hitting everything. 7 for 9, Tabitha Swartz. Hermosa trying to return the favor to Kabai, and Kabai will go to the line as Batts whistled for the foul. That's the second on Batts.
And right here for Lorella Kubai, this is allowing each team to kind of get a breather, but it's also allowing Georgia Tech to get a few more points on the board while the clock is stopped. Free throws are some of the biggest points in a game that you could get when no time is running off the clock. And I think a lot of teams take that for granted, especially when it comes down to close games that are won by 1 or 2 or 3 points.
12th game of the season with 10+ rebounds for the Italian Lorella Kubai. She's got 10 double-doubles, averaging that double-doubles. And I know that first team All-ACC selection is going to be jam-packed, but
yeah.
she needs to be on there.
I think she deserves to be on there as well. I mean, the other post players in the category are very good too. Of course, Kitley is in there.
Bailey.
Bailey,
There's a lot of good ones. Look at Kubai, though, doing it all. Kubai should get credit for another block, as that's the 3rd block there for Kubai, although they might be calling that a pass, so we'll see. Nope, they give it to Kubai, so she's got 3 blocks. Fletcher, Lottinen, McQueen. Look how quickly Georgia Tech's moving. Fletcher all the way around and in.
And that took a triple screen by Georgia Tech's offensive players to get Kiera Fletcher open. 3 screens got her open so she could curl around the top of the three-point arc and get to the basket. Wow.
Down low, rebound Hermosa. She'll give it to McQueen, and McQueen will push it. McQueen got a good handle. Always like seeing lefties push it. Fletcher pushed out of bounds, but they'll say it'll stay with Georgia Tech.
And here Fletcher trying to make an impact in the game. Didn't have much of an impact in that first half with those 2 early fouls. Part of the game plan for Boston College not to let her be effective. But this second half, she's got to do more for Georgia Tech to get this win against Boston College. She's playing very well.
Lottinen misses. I got to give McQueen credit. She had an open look, but they found a better shot. Unfortunately, Lottinen was not there, and Swartz will go to the line to try to add to her 17 points.
And Swartz has figured it out. You know, go to the basket. If other things are not working or shots aren't falling, drive to the basket, create contact, and get to the free throw line or get an and one. That's how you get your offense moving. And for Coach Joanna McNamee, this is, her game plan is being followed to the T by Boston College. I mean, they are doing everything she asks them to do. They're creating havoc on the defensive end that's fueling their offense, creating those easy layups. They are hustling. They look in shape and playing shape to hang with this Georgia Tech team. This Georgia Tech team likes to run. It's not an easy team to stick with.
No, it's not. And the starting five for Georgia Tech, granted they're not deep, but as Nell Fortner continues to get production out of her freshman, Fletcher drives. This starting five, I feel like you could put it up against any starting five in the conference. As far as player for player, they're tight.
Yeah. I mean, Georgia Tech has the two bigs. You want the two staple post players, and these post players aren't your average post players. They know how to pass. They know how to move and see each other with that high-low positioning. And Lodemai Lahtinen, former hockey player in Finland. So that shows you just how tough she is. She went back to play on the Finnish national team, and it got her so much better over the summer. This Georgia Tech team can play with anybody in the ACC.
And Fletcher and McQueen added to that starting lineup. Both of them can light it up when they need to. Swartz forcing that in the final seconds of the third. Swartz 7 for 10, 4 for 4 from the line. But it's been Georgia Tech, Kubai and Hermosa. Hermosa with 14s, giving Georgia Tech.
At them by so many different teams. And this game is not an exception to that. I mean, the coach for Boston College literally told us she was going to shake this up and try to rattle them up and not let them get settled in the things that they do well. So, kudos to Georgia Tech for adjusting to the defensive pressure that Boston College has applied to them throughout the game.
Fourth quarter underway, and the Georgia Tech starters are out there. Fletcher, Lahtinen, Kubai, Hermosa, and McQueen. Kubai finds Hermosa. Extra pass, McQueen sets her feet. That one off the mark. Hustle by Swartz. Plenty of time for Boston College, only down by 4. Swartz with 19 points.
And here, Dino, is where I want to see that fourth quarter for Boston College and for both these teams, really, because both these teams have had a few games where they had some fourth quarter slip-ups. Georgia Tech has responded better to those fourth quarter slip-ups, but I really am excited to see how this fourth quarter goes for Boston College especially.
They tried to drop it down low to Soule, who's listed at 5'11". Plays like she's 6'11", but it's
Seriously.
not easy. Yeah.
With the fro. So disrespectful.
Just like Fletch. Swartz, hand in the face that time. Denied, so Swartz now 7 for 11. Speaking of Fletch, here's Fletcher.
And again, the foul. Called on Taylor Soule, who was fighting hard to get position and not let Lorella Kubai get the front position. And that's something that she does well, usually on smaller players overall. But, Taylor Soule, only 5'11", doing what she can on the larger 6-foot frame, Lorella Kubai.
Just a phenomenal basketball player, number 13, Taylor Soule. She has either been guarding Hermosa or Kubai. She's on Hermosa now. And forces a turnover. That's just big-time D.
Yep. And she stays in foul trouble, but that's only because she hustles and plays so hard. And I think any coach will, of course, you don't want a player who's in foul trouble, but you'll take her hustle. You'll take the effort, the points that matter on the floor, those hustle points that get you extra possessions for your team.
Yeah, she made that play with 3 fouls. Van Timmeren also with 3, and Ford's got 2.
And she's at a size where she can handle the ball well at 5'11". We saw her just do a crossover underneath the basket.
So hustles for it, spins. Short rebound, though. Extra effort for Boston College. They get it to the hot hand of Swartz. Swartz with the runner, and all of a sudden she's gone cold.
I think that was 3 offensive rebounds in that possession for Boston College.
They didn't get anything to show for it, so if Georgia Tech scores here, remember that turning point, the extra hustle.
Yeah.
Particularly when you look at the record of 1-10, those things start to wear on you a little bit, right? And then you throw in this awful pandemic, and it's just kind of ugly. Lahtinen misses, rebound there from Hermosa. Fletcher open for 3, misses it. Soule with the rebound. Boston College. So to their credit, they had all that effort, then they came down and got a stop.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia Tech had 2 offensive rebounds in that possession as well, but nothing came of it.
Soule, such a smart player, knows Swartz is hot. She was open, but made the extra pass. Swartz really wasn't ready for it. Because of that, didn't get herself in a good shooting position.
I got to get on her training plan, like staying in shape. Like, I mean, she doesn't even look tired. She's getting a break, but to me, she does not look as tired as most players who have to come out of the game after working that hard. An excellent playing shape, which is one of the staples for this Boston College team.
Shot clock at 15. Go back down to Ford. Ford misses and ripped out of there by Kubai, who's also fouled. Kubai with 14 rebounds to go with her 7 points.
And Coach Burnaby McNamee is telling Bats that, hey, we don't want to foul on that. That was an unnecessary foul. But, you know, again, we talked to her about Claire Ford. Claire Ford needs to finish that layup underneath the basket. She got past the defender, hooked her with the elbow. Ref didn't call it. It's a good move. And she missed the layup underneath. So those are things that Coach McNamee told us. She needs more efficiency on the offensive end from Claire Ford.
Hermosa, 2 dribbles. Had an open look. Gave it to Kubai. Hermosa with the rebound. Gets alive here now to Love. Love gives it up to McQueen. Shot clock at 5. Love may have to force one here. McQueen, long 3. Too deep. Rebound. Hermosa. And turns it over. Mel Fortner taking the mask off for that one as a finish there from the X Factor Bats.
I think that she was trying to yell to McQueen, hey, not McQueen, excuse me, Hermosa underneath the basket, like, hey, dribble the ball all the way out. Hermosa kind of stopped underneath the basket and allowed Boston College to trap her, forcing the turnover.
So great to see Nell Fortner this year directing traffic back on the sidelines, inspiring young athletes. Part of the draw was the academic side to Georgia Tech. She was pretty clear on that as a miss there, rebound by Swartz.
How many times have we seen a smaller player out-rebound Lorella Kubai? Not many.
Meanwhile, it's just a 2-point game here with under 6 minutes remaining. We got a good one here in Boston. Kubai with the steal, the stat stuffer. She's got 2 steals and 4 blocks.
And here McQueen decides to pull the ball back out. This is a player that can up the tempo on offense for Georgia Tech when the ball's in her hand.
Shot clock at 10. Fletcher, oh, what a little move. Unlucky, created her own space and in and out. Unlucky. Great move from Fletcher.
There's been quite a few shots today, Gino, that on both ends have kind of rimmed in and rimmed out. Lids on the rim here in Boston College.
Swartz.
Not for Swartz, though.
No, 21 for Swartz.
I mean, she is feeling it today, doing it all. I mean, she doesn't even look like she's tired at this point.
Maybe a little tired.
Yeah, compared to us.
41 all. Swartz ties it. Loyal McQueen. Fletcher, and a charge called against Fletcher, and you see Bats screaming. Boston College bringing it defensively here in the 4th quarter. Georgia Tech 41, Boston College.
Here, but Lorella Kubai, I mean, just a beast. And off the floor, she's mature. She's an intelligent player. She's articulate. She has that relationship with Hermosa. And I didn't realize until Pond told me that the Italian and Spanish are so close together, which helps with the language barriers.
You saw the 4th quarter situation, which has been a cause of concern for both teams. We'll see what happens in the final 4:20 of this 4th. Another rebound for Kubai. Out to McQueen. McQueen draws the foul, and she'll go back to the line. Good job by McQueen to make something out of virtually nothing right there.
Yeah, this kid really likes to pick up the tempo. Coach Fortner loves when the ball is in her hands because it does that for the offense. It increases the speed, adds a little bounce to the offense. Loyal McQueen right here, focusing in, try to make these free throws while the clock is stopped.
They always make a big deal of 1,000 points in high school, but are you kidding me? 2,000 plus points, including 51 in one game. And she was a multi-sport star, big-time cross-country athlete from what I understand, and the South Carolina High School Player of the Year. The freshman for Georgia Tech has given the Yellow Jackets a 2-point lead.
Those are LeBron James numbers. 51 points. Jeesh.
Yeah, 11 threes in one game as Soule earns a whistle.
Taylor Soule trying to remain aggressive in this fourth quarter, showing that she's in excellent shape and she's going to keep fighting to the buzzer beaters here. And this Boston College team is hungry for a win.
Look at Soule seal. She's denied there by Hermosa. Again, she's only 5'11", but the way she sealed to get in that position was phenomenal.
She does her work early, and she has to because she's a smaller post player, so she has to get really good positioning with her body.
It's been the Soule and Swartz show, 13 of 25, an extra step there for Soule. The rest of the team, 4 for 28. So you take Soule and Swartz out of there, and it's Georgia Tech by 30. With Soule and Swartz, we've got just a 2-point game as Joanna Burnaby McNamee looks on. The reigning ACC Coach of the Year had to deal with all of the tribulations with COVID more than any other team. Here's the deal, too. The games they miss, with all due respect, I mean, were games they probably could have won. But when they do get back, they've got to face Louisville and Georgia Tech and teams on the upper echelon, so they can't buy a break.
Yeah, Louisville, a #1 team in the ACC. Georgia Tech, #3 in the ACC. I mean, that's 2 tough games to come back to. I think another one of those games they had that was also a loss was versus Pitt.
Shot clock at 3. McQueen hesitates, gives it to Lattinen. And then offensive rebound from the do-it-all guard, Fletcher. I like Nell Fortner describing when we can get her going downhill. That's exactly what she's talking about. Downhill offensive rebound. Nell Fortner. She had some good takes yesterday, and I think as it relates to her starting 5, she basically was saying, you all know our starting 5. There's nothing I need to say about these 5. They can do it.
It's like we know the player tendencies at this point. We know they know how to rattle back and come back from a deficit. We know they know how to fight and hustle for a win.
Lattinen, Swartz. Oh, I don't know. Lattinen. I thought Swartz was still moving her feet, but Swartz, it's her day, so she gets the call. Lattinen, not too happy with it.
And that's usually how it goes. And yes, Swartz was still moving her feet. But you know what? Kudos to Swartz for getting the momentum in her direction, in her favor, because that's the game of basketball. The refs usually go with the player who's got the momentum. Of course, they want to call a fair game, but Swartz has been aggressive all game long. And, you know, she deserves to have some of these calls go her way.
Timmerin, solid addition. Soule, Swartz, extra pass, back to Soule, and we're tied again.
Excellent pass from Swartz to find Soule underneath. Boston College just playing excellent basketball here late in the fourth.
Points in the paint. I never would have guessed this. Boston College, 28 points in the paint. McQueen, tough shot, rolls in and out off of Hermosa, and it'll come back to Boston College.
Let's take another look at this Taylor Soule pass. She has the larger Kubai on her. Pass it to Swartz. Swartz gets the double team drawn to her with Lattinen and Kubai, leaving Soule underneath for the easy 2. Excellent ball movement, excellent vision to find Soule underneath. Great work by Boston College right there, the 2-man game.
Great work by our producer, Woody, our director, Mike Baker, and our outstanding crew. Always first class, big smiles. We salute them all. The drive to the bucket, up and in. Dickens has it. And Georgia Tech 0 for 10 in the fourth quarter from the floor, and they now trail by 2.
I don't know what you see, Dino, but for this Boston College team, I see no fatigue in the fourth right now. They look healthy and happy with their legs.
With that, Boston College up by 2 with 1:22 remaining. Can Boston College get it done? As these cutouts were picked by the players as inspirational figures, a special day for a special team that is in dire need of a victory. And at the moment, Boston College with just one ACC win has a 2-point lead with 1:22 remaining. Alongside Tabitha Turner, I'm Dean Linke. You see the story of field goals. Georgia Tech 0 for 10 in the fourth. Boston College 4 for 11.
Both teams have gone through droughts in this game and scoring runs as well. It's kind of been an up and down game the entire time.
Shot clock. I don't think she got it off in time. I guess they'll say she did. How many times has Boston College forced Georgia Tech to push shots with just 1 or 2 seconds remaining on the shot clock?
Yeah, run down the shot clock, which is indicative of how good their defense has been this entire game.
Keep an eye out for whistles. Both teams in the bonus. Boston College now going to work the shot clock down to 6. Timorin. Oh, and she gets the whistle. Foul on Hermosa. And the Eagles desperate for a feel-good moment, as Joanna Burnamy-McNamee said that crystal clear. This team deserves a feel-good moment, and they're 31.6 seconds away from getting that feel-good moment.
I mean, Timorin here had the larger Hermosa on her. Does the step through up and under, and the bench erupts on that play because they can sense right there that there's a dagger to close out this game.
Timeout called, though, missing the extra shot. A 4-point lead as Boston College looking to shock Georgia Tech here in Boston. 1 for 6, missed the and 1. Joining Joanna Burnamy-McNamee, A.J. Cohen, George Porsche, Michael Gibson, Reagan Moore. The coaching staff, there's Nell Fortner, the head coach for Georgia Tech. They've got the play. They're down by 4. Need to be a little quicker in their offense. They've been waiting for the final seconds. Fletcher attacks. Back to Lattinen for 3 and misses it. And rebound for Swartz. And a foul. Kubai will foul Swartz. And Boston College now looking like they're 16.5 seconds away from getting just their second ACC win. And their last win was 64-61. By the way, Swartz made a big bucket in that one as well. That was on January 7th. That's a long time ago, and that's exactly what Joanna Burnamy-McNamee said. It's too long to go without a win for a team that deserves one.
Yeah, and of course, with the COVID protocols and all the games being canceled or postponed, it's just been hard to get any games in. 3 games in 31 days. Is not a lot of game playing action for this Boston College team, which, you know, is part of the reason why they had some fatigue issues.
We're going to take one more break. We'll see if Georgia Tech can pull off a miracle. They're down 6 to Boston College. (49-43), Boston College with the lead. Georgia Tech 0 for 12 from the floor in the fourth quarter. Royal McQueen steps out of bounds, and that should do it.
Wow.
What a victory this will be for Boston College. They'll push their ACC record to 2-10. It'll drop Georgia Tech's record down to 11-5. Georgia Tech at one point had won 7 straight in the ACC. Celebrating Black History Month on the special day. How about celebrating a Boston College victory for Joanna Burnamy-McNamee? Big time performance. Soul, the heart and soul of the team. Swartz with 20.